Hello, and welcome to the start of another week of the Reading, Rambling, and Real Life series with Jane Reads. My name is Jeanette, and today is Monday, July the 6th, and I am just leaving work for the day, heading home, and I thought I would give you a reading update of what I'm reading. So, on my Kindle, I am reading Love in the Details by Becky. It is a novella. I just started it last night. I expect to finish it today because it's a novella, pretty short. Then my audiobook is Glitter of Gold by Liz Johnson, which is book 2 of the Georgia Coast Romance series. It does not connect with book 1, so you could read it as a standalone because it's brand new characters. We are following Anne, who runs a pirate tour boat thing. I'm not exactly sure. It's based in Savannah, Georgia. And then we are following Colton, I think is his name, who is the director of the local museum. And a hurricane has just come through the area, and Anne has found a sword that looks like it's from an old ship. She's taken it to Colton to try to authenticate, basically. I think his name's Colton. Now I'm like, I've only read 3 chapters at this point in time, so I'm very early into the book, and we'll see what goes from there. Anne's mom was really trying to convince her to move home to California because of the hurricane and her struggles she's having, but she has baggage in California from a past relationship and stuff that happened with that relationship. And so she really doesn't want to go, and I'm really intrigued. We have a little bit of what that past baggage is, but I really want to know more. This is a reread for me. I don't even know when I initially read it. It was when it was first released, in 2017 maybe, but it's seeming brand new to me. Like, I'm not remembering anything about it. So we will see. This is an example of why I reread. So yeah, that is my 2 books that I have going at the moment. As I said, today is Monday. I am heading home. I have cashew chicken stir fry in the slow cooker, so I just have to make some rice and that will be supper. And yeah, it's a beautiful day, and I just need to finish my 2 videos for the week. They're both exported now, so I just need to do the watch through, create the description box, create the thumbnails, and then I can get them scheduled. So that's Wednesday and Friday's video. And so yeah, that's really my agenda for today. We have to deal with some family stuff when I get home, so we'll see. I don't know exactly when we're going to do that. We have a phone call with some family members to figure out plans and what's going to happen. So yeah, that's really the agenda for the today right now. Probably more once I talk to Andrew and figure out what else, but that's my update. Well, it is Tuesday morning and I'm just arriving at work, and I thought I would do a quick check-in before I get the day started. I did not check in at all last night because I was just grouchy. I was grouchy. And I'm like, yeah, no. So I played games on my phone. I did finalize 2 videos that are going up Wednesday and Saturday, so I got both of them scheduled on YouTube. I did finish Love in the Details by Becky. I only had 3 chapters left, but it was really cute story. Just a fun, lighthearted story. I'm giving it 4 stars. And that's really all I did last night. And then Tori did have sprints, so I joined her, and that just helped me take me out of my funk. I don't know. Just, yeah. Then, today, my announcement video for the Keep Me in Suspense readathon went live this morning. I'm so excited. I love reading suspense. But I mean, I love other stuff as well, so I'm hoping to read a lot of historical suspense. We will see what happens. I've also listened to my audiobook, Glitter of Gold, and the main male character's name is Carter. I can't remember what I called him yesterday, but it wasn't Carter. It is Carter. I'm only starting chapter 5, so I haven't got very far, so I don't really have much to update. But yeah, that is the start of Tuesday. Okay, this is going to be a very quick check-in, and I just realized I was going to do a grocery haul, and I completely forgot earlier. Shoot! So I came home from work, and Andrew had a hair appointment, so I thought, oh, I'll film my video right now. Well, he's gone. And then while I'm filming it, my sister-in-law called, and I'm like, So I did not get it done before Andrew got home, but he let me finish it. Then we had to go grocery shopping, and we did a load of laundry. Then we had supper, and now I'm getting ready for sprints. And we have company. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law are coming tomorrow for a few days as we have a family project we need to work on. And not a fun one, but yeah. So I don't know how much updating I'll be able to do over the next couple days. So I was hoping to film quite a bit Monday, Tuesday, but that didn't happen. So tonight during sprints, I will be starting The Joy of Falling by Lindsay Harrel. This is a reread for me. And I am continuing in my audiobook, A Glitter of Gold by Liz Johnson, which is also a reread for me. So that really, I will tell you, I haven't even started this one yet. I'm only on chapter 5 on this one, like just finishing chapter 5. But there's letters in this one, or journal entries. Journal entries is the diary. And so I'm just at the part of chapter 5 where they start reading the journal entries. And I'm like, I love it. So yeah. That's really my update for now. And I got a really sweet email today from a subscriber, and I'm like, that has made me so happy, because it's been a rough few days, almost a week, I would say. And just getting ready to deal with this family stuff, I think, is just really dealt with my mental capacity at the moment. And then I put pressure on myself by trying to get videos pre-done so that I can stick to my normal schedule, even though I will lose 4 days of filming and editing time because of company. So we will see what happens. But now it's ready to start sprints. Okay, wow, it is Tuesday evening now, and sprints have edited. I edited during sprints. Sprints have ended, and I edited the video that I filmed this afternoon, and I've watched it through. I've created the thumbnail, I created the description box, and now it's uploading to YouTube and scheduled to go up next Tuesday. Yay! I also read one more chapter in A Glitter of Gold while I updated my reading journal because I was 2 books behind. We won't talk about the reviews that I'm behind. But yeah, that'll be a next week problem. Then I read The Joy of Falling by Lindsay Harrel, and I have made it to page 60, just starting chapter 10. So yeah. So it was a pretty productive evening, and it's going to be my last productive evening reading book-wise for a few days, but that's okay. So now I am going to head off to bed, and I think I need to check. I think I have this on my Kindle as well. I'm hoping. I need to check. Because if I do, then I can continue reading in bed because, I'll read for 20 minutes or so, maybe. Oh, maybe not. Maybe 10 minutes. We'll see. Maybe I'll read like one more chapter or something because the next chapter's only... Oh. Okay, the chapters were shorter. This chapter is 13 pages. But I mean, like, the last chapter was only 5 pages. So, yeah. We will see if I will read any more in this tonight or not. I will try to update you sometime tomorrow on my progress. Good night. Well, it is Wednesday, and I'm back at work. And today I am working on inventory of the library. So there's my little setup as I pull books off, enter them in the computer, put them back on the shelf. The one really positive thing about this is I am finding all the titles that we have that I'm like, ooh, I'm interested in reading that. I'm interested in reading that. And maybe that's a negative thing as well. I have not taken the time to read the back of the books though. This is all based on cover look and author. So we'll see. How many will I take from here? I'm not going to take any right now, because I've taken the one that was on my July TBR, and I'm not taking any more. But once I have a full spreadsheet of everything too, it'll be very easy to look up and say, hey, that book's at the church library. So yeah, but we have to get inventory done because we have to do a contents inventory for the summer. So that's what I'm working on. I did not read any more last night, but I am listening to A Glitter of Gold by Liz Johnson as my audiobook as I'm working on this. And then Hoopla went down. It was like, all of a sudden my audiobook just stopped. And it was like, what? I'm like, really? But at that point, the laptop battery was dead. So I had to go back to the office to plug it in and work on a couple other things. And then once I was done that and the laptop was fully charged again, I checked my Hoopla and it was back up. And I'm like, yay. So I'm going to continue listening. I'm now at 59%. I'm making very good progress on this. And I love that we're reading journal entries as part of the story. So yeah, that is the update for right now. Okay, I am home and I am sitting out on the deck and I'm hoping you can hear me with the road noise that's happening out front. So we have about half an hour. Oh, I took my watch off. I think half an hour till our company arrives, so I'm going to enjoy the deck for a bit. I listened to a lot of A Glitter of Gold today, so I have made it to chapter 16, so not very much left. And right now they are searching for a sunken ship. And we were following the journal entries of somebody who had been on that ship and during a hurricane or after the hurricane, and found a sword, and that kind of led to the ship. Where could it be? Like, where did it sink? So I'm very intrigued to see what is going to happen. I don't remember this story at all. It is not familiar to me. So that is what I am listening to as my audiobook. And then I'm going to physically read The Joy of Falling by Lindsay Harrel. I made it to chapter 10 last night, as I told you, and I haven't read any further. So that's what I'm going to do and enjoy this beautiful sunshine. Well, it is Thursday evening and I am just checking in. I have no reading update because I pretty much have done none. We spent the day cleaning out a storage locker and trying to sort things out, and we have to go back tomorrow and do more sorting. Oh, fun. But we did have fun breaking some computers and then breaking one of Andrew's tools. Didn't expect it to break. And now I'm sorting through quarters. We want to sort them by the dates. So that is what I'm doing. And this whole Pringles can is pretty much like full of them. So that is my joy. Well, the other three are out for a walk around the block. I'm working on this. Because I figured I could do this and listen to my audiobook at the same time. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Take a picture. Take a picture. Take a quick picture.
He broke his thing.
She broke.
What I was planning.
Not the piece he wanted to break.
I never would have guessed that would have happened. That's odd.
Well, it is older, but
Okay.
Is Red Green Canadian?
yes, yes, he is.
Oh.
Well, you got the fan off of it. I don't think that's the part we were trying to break.
This is what we want to get at.
It's the stuff inside.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it is Saturday afternoon and our company has gone home, and I thought I should check in with a reading update. So I did finish A Glitter of Gold by Liz Johnson on audio this morning. And once I finished, I was like, I wonder what I said about this book before. So I went back and looked at my Goodreads review. I originally read this in August of 2019 and I gave it 4 stars. This time, I didn't enjoy it as much as I did that first time around. I don't know if it's because I was listening to audio or if it's because kind of the week it's been. I don't know. I just didn't connect with them, with the story or the characters as much as I did the first time. In my original review, I said I really connected with the characters. I didn't so much care about the treasure hunt, but I loved the diary entries. And this time, I loved the diary entries. That's my favorite part. I didn't really connect with the characters as much this time, and I didn't care about the treasure hunt. So, the treasure hunt side was the same opinion, and the diary was the same opinion. My opinion changed on the characters. We've got Anne, who had a terrible situation in California, and she's come to kind of start a new life in Savannah, Georgia. And I felt for that situation because she kind of got roped into something that really wasn't of her own doing. She got blamed for something because of somebody else. So I felt for Anne and what she's going through, but she bugged me that she wouldn't trust people, or, her family wants to help and she won't let them. She kind of bugged me that way. Then we've got Carter, who is a museum director, and the museum is struggling and he's unsure what to do. And I just didn't connect with him. And then he does something at a certain point of the story that kind of Anne really didn't want him to do. And he does it without really thinking about the consequences of it. And that just really annoyed me. They do reconcile because of that situation. Things, get reconciled and move forward. And I did like that. But it was like, buddy, you should have thought about it first. That just kind of annoyed me. I really liked Carter's Aunt Tess. I liked that storyline. But I could have read a whole book with just the diary entry situation and story that we were following. That is really what piqued my interest. And it's like, okay, what happened? Well, what happened? We do find out what happened. It is revealed. But yeah, so I'm giving it 3.5 stars this time. Because again, I think it might have been my mindset this week as well. So the last couple days have been pretty stressful, going through boxes of things, dealing with a lot of somebody's memories and stuff, designating for different family members or what we're going to do with this, what we're going to do with that, just a lot of stress for family stuff. And a lot of hard work. Lifting and moving and bending, and so I'm sore today. I was sore last night. My shoulders are sore, my legs are sore, and I'm so glad that we just have today to kind of veg and really do whatever we want, sit on the couch and watch YouTube if I want, which I'm going to do for a bit because it seems like every single channel that I subscribe to has posted a new video in the last 3 days. So I feel so far behind on YouTube. I would need a whole weekend to watch them all, it feels like, because they're all fairly long, which I'm not commenting about because I've also posted a long video. So I'm not going to watch my own, but I am one of those channels that's also posted in the last 3 days. So I'm going to throw on some YouTube to watch. And in between, I'm going to work on reading The Joy of Falling by Lindsay Harrel. I'm really hoping to finish this tomorrow. We'll see. I'm on page 127 of 314. I think it's just over 300. I'm on chapter 18, and there's 45 chapters in this. They are nice, short chapters, which I really appreciate. We are now in New Zealand. I think it's about January 2nd. They're preparing to run a marathon race in preparation for an ultra marathon they will be doing in March. We're following two sister-in-laws who have lost their husbands due to a scuba diving incident. The husbands were brothers. I think there's going to be a bit of romance for one of the sisters. I think it is a reread, but I read it back in 21. I really don't remember it. So that's what I'm going to read while I veg and relax. So that is my plans for today. I may or may not check in later. Well, it is Sunday afternoon, and I finished The Joy of Falling by Lindsay Harrel. I actually finished it last night. This is pretty much all I did yesterday was read. And then I finished it and went to bed. I have such mixed feelings on this. I don't know whether it's a 3.5 or a 4, because there were parts of it I really enjoyed. But there were other parts that, the chances of that happening are fairly slim. So we have the two sister-in-laws who have lost their husbands in the scuba diving accident. And they're both dealing with the grief of that. One of them has some kids that is also dealing with the grief of that. So they've got to take care of the kids and help the kids through the loss of their father while they're mourning the husband. And then they have mixed feelings about that because they're also mad at the husband because he put himself in this situation where he could get injured and might not come home, and he didn't, right? So, there's a ton of feelings happening. Then we have the single woman, like she only lost her husband, like she doesn't have kids, so now she is left alone. And she feels like she's grieving Brent in the way that she should be, and very emotional about it, and doesn't see the other woman cry. And she's like, well, why? How can she react that way when I'm feeling this? And really comparing grief between the two of them, which just shows that everybody deals with grief differently. But then it's also like, because we never had kids, I don't have kids to remember him by. And so then that's a whole other grief period that she's dealing with. So there's all this. And then there's the mother-in-law, the grandmother to the kids, who lost both sons, and who we know that she lost her husband, so the son's father, a few years prior to that. So she has the grief of losing her husband along with her two sons in one, like, the husband separately, but then two sons at once. But they don't really show that. They show, like, Sherry is her name, being there for the daughter-in-laws and being there for the grandkids and really taking care of the grandkids while the mom is off at work and things, right? But you don't really see the grief that she's dealing with. And I think that could have been kind of dealt with a little bit more. You do see her helping the daughter-in-law, like them talking about it and helping them deal with it and stuff. And then, so they're in New York, they're from New York City, and then the race takes place in New Zealand. So they travel to New Zealand to prep for this race. And we see kind of growth of the family during their time in New Zealand. The scenery is described so well. Like, if you've never wanted to visit New Zealand before, you're going to want to after reading this book. Just such a beautiful country. And the fact that they're there in our winter time, so like Christmas, New Year, January, February, like when New York is getting snow, and now they're in New Zealand during their summertime, like perfect time to go to New Zealand, perfect time. And then we get to the ultramarathon race, and we are right with the characters while they're running that race. And like, this is like 7 days, 150 miles, I think it was, over the course of 7 days. Like, they are challenged and then like really have to deal with, and teamwork really comes apparent. So I really liked that side of the story, but then there's the romance. Now, I did say before, I was pretty sure there was a certain two people that found romance, but then the other woman finds romance as well. And the chances of both of the sister-in-laws finding romance on the same, like during the same period of time, during the same trip, seems a little far-fetched. Real unrealistic. And then the way it's kind of dealt with at the end and kind of wrapped up a little bit, because like New Zealand, New York, North America, like quite the time zone difference, quite the travel distance. How does that resolve? Like, does somebody move, and who moves and what? Like, I don't know. I did not like the ending. I mean, it's open-ended, I guess, because I mean, life is open-ended, right? Like, it's not like, okay, that's it. There's no moving forward. There is possibility for a lot of other moving forward. So I think I'm at 4 stars, I think, because I really liked the faith aspect and trusting God and God knowing a plan for your life. And Sherry was such a good influence on the daughters-in-law. And while she's dealing with her own grief, she really supports them. So I really enjoyed that. So I think that's where I'm landing. I'll think about it a little bit more. If I change, I will let you know. So now I have been working on updating my reading journal. I do have some reviews to write, but I was at least marking down when I finished the books. And both of these books that I finished yesterday were for my 5 for my deck of TBR. Because when I played my game, I had to pick 2 books because I got a double. And so I picked forward in the title for both of them. So now I have submitted these for the Deca TBR-a-thon. And so that's 10 points. So 5 points each. Yay. Now I have decided to pick up my Set in Scotland book, which is Death at Thorburn Hall by Julianna Deering. This is book 6 in the Drew Farthering mystery series. So it starts out in England because that's where Drew lives. But based on the back, they travel to Scotland. I haven't even started it, so we'll see. And I'm reading this for the Queen prompt. What was Queen? Set outside North America. So this is another 5 point book. So hopefully I enjoyed, and it will complete a series. And now Chloe and Bekah, I felt like I said Becca's name wrong. Chloe and Bekah are doing sprints, so I'm going to join those sprints and get a little bit of reading done. Okay, let's add the sticker for The Joy of Falling to my reading journal, so it can officially be progress on my rereads board. Which has way too many spots for me. This one is much nicer to look at. Not as many empty spots. But we'll get there. We're gonna have shake and bake chicken. So I'm letting Andrew touch the chicken.
Why, are you chicken?
I am chicken.
Oh, okay. That one didn't turn out so hot. Yeah, let's put a few on here. There we go.
Well, it is now Sunday evening and I am coming in to close out the video for the week. I joined Bekah and Chloe on sprints for the Deck of TBR-a-thon. Then I made supper, and then Krista from Books and Jams was having sprints with Amy from Amy's Bookish Life for the start of the Ketchup-a-thon. That I'm not participating in that readathon, but I could join sprints. And then Jamie Gordy started sprints, so then I jumped over to Jamie's sprints and participated there. And in the midst of all that, I worked on editing. I did get a bit of reading done in Death at Thorburn Hall. I'm now on chapter 3, page 42. So now I read 2 chapters pretty much. We are already in Scotland though. They basically were arriving in Scotland in chapter 1, and they are there to watch the open golf tournament that is taking place. And I'm like, how much golf talk is going to be in this? Because that worries me a little bit. But we will see. But I didn't get very much read because I was editing. And so I have this video edited up to this point, add this in, and then I can finish it and get it finalized to go up Wednesday. So that is it for this week. I know it was a shorter video, which maybe a lot of you appreciate that it was a shorter video. I'm finding that my videos, I think they're getting a little boring, my weekly vlogs. So I gotta figure out what to do about that because I'm boring myself with just chatting and what else can I, but my life is pretty boring, I think. I know other people say, yeah, like they like to see the mundane of everybody's life, but so we will see what happens because I need to, but it could also be just my attitude for the last couple weeks because it's knowing that this week was happening and the stress leading up to it and what's going on, and it's not finalized, but we're at least at a stage where we know kind of the next plan. And that, you know, there's kind of an end date in sight when we can like close the storage locker and be like, okay, we're done, no more. So yeah. So the highlight for this week was definitely having my sister-in-law and brother-in-law visit because I don't think we've ever had one-on-one time with just them as a couple. There's always been like the parents around or the kids around, like their kids, or the siblings around, right? Like, so just having one-on-one time as two couples was really nice in the midst of the stress. Because even though we were very busy during the day, we could take time and play games in the evening and just visit, just be. So that was really good. So that was a highlight. So I did get a novella read at the beginning of the week. So that puts me one more book closer to reading Becky Wade to 0. I think I only have one novella left from her, but I need to read another one of her full-length books to get to that novella in that series. But I've already read that. I just never read the novella. And then I got 2 rereads done. A Glitter of Gold by Lindsay Johnson, and book 3 of that series is one of the 16 rereads I wanted to get read this year. So now I have book 2 done, so I can ready to move on to book 3. And then The Joy of Falling by Lindsay Harrel was one of the 16. So that's, you know, another spot done on the bingo board. So yeah, thank you for joining me this week. And if you have nothing to say, just leave an emoji of a cardboard box. Because really, I saw a lot of cardboard boxes. You didn't see them, but I saw a lot of them over the last few days. And yeah, that really represents my week. I want to thank you for taking the time. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you would like and subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for future videos. Have a great day. Bye.